These lawsuits are quite notable. I think it sends a message that the EEOC is going to continue to take these issues very seriously and aggressively enforce the issue of bias with respect to gender identity as well as sexual orientation. In addition, the filing of these lawsuits is going to result in a significant increase of charges filed as well as lawsuits filed with respect to sexual orientation discrimination, especially in jurisdictions where sexual orientation is not currently protected under state and local law. Notwithstanding the fact that Title VII of the Civil Rights Act of 1964 does not expressly cover sexual orientation, and to date no U.S. Court of Appeals has held that sexual orientation is covered under Title VII, the EEOC makes a number of arguments in these lawsuits. One of the arguments that the EEOC makes is that sexual orientation discrimination on its face entails treating employees less favorably based on sex. Another argument that the EEOC relies on is that sexual orientation harassment stems from an employee's failure to conform to norms and sexual stereotypes. And this, of course, has been a big issue that the EEOC has been focusing on, the notion of stereotypes. These suits are, of course, part of a larger initiative that we've seen over the last few years by the EEOC. The EEOC released a strategic plan in December 2012 for the years 2013 to 2016, and one of the top 6 priorities was, of course, the coverage and protection of LGBT employees. In addition, the EEOC, in a federal sector decision that came down in July 2015 called Baldwin versus the Department of Transportation, specifically found that sexual orientation discrimination is unlawful sex discrimination under Title VII. In reaching its conclusion, the EEOC relied on a number of the same arguments that they make in these current lawsuits. Employers should take a number of steps to ensure that they're insulated from charges of sexual orientation bias. Filing of these lawsuits presents an opportunity for employers to review their policies and procedures in their handbook. Employers should consider adding sexual orientation as a protected status to their EEO policies. In addition, employers should consider expanding their training programs, particularly in jurisdictions where sexual orientation and gender identity are not protected categories under state and local law. The training program should cover these issues, train employees and managers to be sensitive with respect to these issues, and train managers not to retaliate against employees for complaining about these issues. It's also critical, if employers are confronted with an internal complaint of sexual orientation discrimination or gender identity discrimination, that employers take these issues as seriously as they would a complaint of sex or race discrimination issues and investigate these complaints in the same manner.